Oh, Gypsy Rose, free at last, and now she's pregnant? In a shocking and terrible turn of events, Gypsy escaped from her mother Dee Dee's suffocating influence. Several years later, she is once again in the middle of a scandal. This time, it has nothing to do with murder. All over social media, Gypsy screams, "I am pregnant." But is she? Is she really leaving Ryan to be with Ken? What would you call her Ken situation? A fling or a lifetime commitment? Let's go back to the beginning if we want to get a handle on this drama. You can say a hasty relationship blossomed between Gypsy Rose and Ryan. At first, it seemed like their lives were going swimmingly. He was charming and encouraging, and they seemed to be making progress.
Ryan and I, our relationship is it's goofy. It's a little bit of everything. I think he compliments me really well. He has more of a softer side. He calms, almost like a storm that's inside my soul.
When I heard Gypsy's story, I felt sad for her. I felt like I couldn't judge her for that. I understood why she did it. You know, Gypsy felt like this was the only way out.
Ryan's grievance with Gypsy wasn't just about their relationship. It was about the ugly divorce that came crashing down like a house of cards. He didn't simply feel betrayed. He felt degraded. How could everything that started so wonderfully wind up like this? He was witnessing the love of his life go straight through his fingers, and it seemed like there was nothing he could do to stop it. Ryan, you're not handling the Gypsy situation like someone ready to take control. You're showing signs of immaturity, and it's getting in the way of solving things like a man. But that's where Ken comes in. Ken. The name that would set off alarm bells in Ryan's thoughts. Ken wasn't just a friend or some casual acquaintance. He was the one person Ryan always felt threatened by. As Ryan's relationship with Gypsy deteriorated, Ken seemed to draw closer to her. Too close for Ryan's liking. It's like watching a telenovela, except with a lot more awkward tension and less dramatic background music. You and Ken are effectively turning like the Batman versus Superman of this mess, except instead of superpowers, you're both brandishing egos and lousy decision-making skills. Seriously, it's like watching two toddlers fighting over who gets the final piece of pizza. Only in this case, the pizza is Gypsy's scandal, and nobody really wants it. Ken's out here trying to play the wise old mentor like Mr. Miyagi, but you're trapped in Karate Kid mentality, thinking you've got everything under control. Spoiler alert, you don't. The way you're both going at it, you'd think you were in a WWE cage match, but instead of throwing punches, you're flinging passive-aggressive comments and terrible feelings. If this were a reality TV program, the ratings would be through the roof. The real kicker is that instead of working together, you guys are making the situation worse. You're so caught up in outmaneuvering, and then the rumors started flying. Was Gypsy seeing Ken behind Ryan's back? Ryan's thoughts raced with concerns, and soon he couldn't see straight. To him, it was no longer just a failed marriage. It was a full-blown betrayal. Was Ken the reason Gypsy had emotionally checked out of their relationship? In their final, passionate fight, Ryan suspected Gypsy of being unfaithful, and he was determined to prove it. Was Ken truly involved, or was it all in Ryan's head? Gypsy disputed the claims, but the tension was too heavy to ignore. The divorce progressed from bad to worse, and just when it seemed like things couldn't be any more chaotic, there was a stunning new twist. Gypsy was rumored to be pregnant. So Gypsy's pregnancy after her whole murder scandal is wild, right? It's like 1 minute she's in the middle of a true crime documentary, and the next, she's got a baby on the way. Talk about flipping the script. It's like going from orange is the new black to what to expect when you're expecting. You've got to wonder if that baby's first kicks are like, yeah, my mom's got one heck of a backstory, but I'm just here for the snacks and naps. And let's be real, pregnancy cravings after a murder scandal? Who knows what kind of bizarre combos Gypsy's coming up with? Ice cream and pickles? Sure. But what if she's like, can I get a side of justice with that? This whole thing feels like the ultimate plot twist. Forget the baby on board. Gypsy's baby is rolling into this world like, yeah, my mom's lived 100 lives already. No big deal. But here's the twist that no one anticipated coming. Who is the father? Ryan, despite their shattered relationship, assumed it was him. But Gypsy stayed curiously silent about it. And then the whispers about Ken being the father began to spread. And let's not forget Christy, Gypsy's stepmom. Now here's where things become very fascinating. Christy had always liked Ken, maybe a little too much. She wanted Gypsy to be happy, certainly, but maybe, just maybe, she also wanted to see her back with Ken. Some even suggest she was pulling strings behind the scenes to make sure that Gypsy and Ken got closer during her breakup with Ryan. So what did Christy do to try and get Gypsy back with Ken? Let's just say that Christy has never been one to shy away from a little manipulation. While Ryan was urgently trying to repair whatever was left of his relationship, Christy might have been encouraging Gypsy to cut ties and go back to someone better suited for her. Better suited, or better for Christy's own agenda. Ryan felt trapped. He sensed something was off, but every time he tried to approach Gypsy about it, he got nowhere. He was seeing the woman he loved, and the woman he believed he was going to spend the rest of his life with, slip away, and the worst part was, she was slipping away to the one person he couldn't tolerate, Ken. And now, here's the last twist, the portion of the story that leaves everyone wondering, could Ken be the father? Think about it. Ken was there when Ryan wasn't. He had been stealthily sneaking into Gypsy's life, exactly when she was at her most vulnerable. As Ryan battled to cling on to the fragments of their collapsing relationship, Ken was delivering Gypsy the stability and attention she sought. If this story turns out to be true, Ken could get the last laugh. Imagine that. After all of Ryan's suspicions, his misgivings about Ken might have been accurate all along. Ken could be the father of Gypsy's child. And if that's the case, what does this mean for Gypsy's future? As the dust settles, Ryan is left with one burning question. The same question that we're all asking. Is Gypsy actually pregnant? And if she is, who's the father, Ryan or Ken? The truth is still to be uncovered, but one thing's for sure. This pregnant drama is far from over. Stay tuned for more twists, more turns, and maybe, just maybe, the surprising truth about Gypsy Rose's pregnancy. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, and hit the bell icon to subscribe to our YouTube channel so you don't miss out on any of our cool videos.